Hey there guys, this is Robin Hood, and today I am bringing you another match from my subscriber tournament here in Total War Rome 2. This is still the first round of the tournament. This is the second battle that I have actually downloaded. Once again, around 5 of the battles have been completed. I'm recording this right after I recorded the last one, but the battle we will be looking at today is Igloo Man versus oOIYvYIOo. And Igloo Man's going to be playing as the Swaby here, and oOIYvYIOo is going to be playing as Rome. So we'll take a look at this. And this is going to be a very heavily forested, snowy map here. So far, all the battles I've seen seem to be in the snow. I did let the actual contestants pick their maps, so I did not assign maps for this tournament. But you can see here the army compositions. Rome here not bringing any skirmishing at all. They have a ton of these armored legionaries. And yeah, you guys can see this is a very heavily forested map here. So I'll try to read off this army for you. There are several sword masters. I believe he had around 5 of them. Igloo Man, that is, here. And I'll get an exact number in a second. I believe it's 5 though. Sword masters, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 for sure. Then he's got several of these berserker units, 3 of them. There those guys are with the wolves on their heads. Then he's got several Wadanaz spear units. I believe he has 4 of those guys up front here. And then 3 longbow hunter units. And there those guys are. And then for his cavalry he had, let me find where they are. He has 2 of the noble riders. And right now we can't actually see Rome's forces at all. They are hidden here. There we go. So once again, you guys can see here just a ton of these armored legionaries, which are a good unit, and he's definitely going for bulk of units numbers here over the elite Praetorian Guard composition. Also, since these guys are so heavily armored, that is probably why he is not very worried about bringing skirmishing, because does not feel like the enemy skirmishers will be very effective against these troops, which generally they actually won't, especially if the engagement opens very quickly. It all depends on how Igloo Man plays with those skirmishers. If you guys saw the last battle, Exotic Tactics versus Peter Lyons, basically Exotic Tactics had way less skirmishing, but he used it as best as he could and ended up winning the skirmish fight and then making that very easy in the infantry fight. So it's all about how you play it. But basically, here Igloo Man deployed in the left of his deployment, went down this way. I believe his goal there was to try to stay hidden in the trees as long as possible. But now Rome has moved to this more open area back here, just outside of the trees, and he's actually going to fall back a little bit more over that way. And so now your battlefield is going to look something like this. Igloo Man is moving the Swaby units here up this way a little bit, just to make sure that he is still getting, however slight, the downhill advantage, because it seemed as if Rome here was trying oOIYvYIOo to get around this flank here. Now the one thing that Rome does have a large advantage in is the number of cavalry, at least. He's got these equites moving around this flank, 2 of them. He's got General's bodyguard there, and way down here the first engagement has just begun. This is Praetorian cavalry, auxiliary cavalry. So 2 auxiliary cavalry and 2 Praetorian cav engaging these noble riders here. And then also in the back of that, here comes these Wadanaz spears. And also joining this little fight will be gladiator spearmen. So at this point in time, these guys are in a desperate fight here. But at this point, sheer cavalry numbers here, these spears will help a little bit. But Rome here is going to quickly establish cavalry supremacy, taking out the Suebi forces there, and these spears coming in a little bit too late. Most of the cavalry escaping there. This unit of auxiliary cav is going to get chewed up, but now these spears are going to have to contend with these gladiator spearmen here charging in. These are a very tough unit, and you can see some of these guys getting hit by those javelins, these trees absorbing the others. There's that fighting there. That guy getting absolutely torn to shreds. Yeah, men getting stabbed here. So that fight's going to go on. Meanwhile, over here, basically what happened is Rome had a micro-lapse. He sent his equites right here, and they pretty much got quite a few of them killed by the javelin throw from these spears as they moved in. So he's going to withdraw those cavalry, and these spears are going to be on this flank there, trying to defend against that. Where was it I was going? And now you can see here, this cavalry is coming back, the Praetorian cav, and they're going to come into the back of these ordnance spears here who are fighting the gladiators. That guy getting stabbed through the face. So this was a pretty even fight, but now with those cavalry coming in the back, that is quickly going to end it, and Rome is going to claim victory in this small engagement in the woods over here. So if you look at this here, as I said, the armored legionaries have withdrawn across the open ground. The general's bodyguard here is moving this way, and really they don't have much to worry about because they cannot be caught by cavalry at this point in time, simply because the Suebi no longer have any cavalry. Those noble riders died, but oOIYvYIOo here is going to take these general's bodyguard and run them back away, because I think he was sending them to help with this engagement over here, realized he did not need help with it, and sent them away, or he could have just been sending them around. Either way, he's going to decide to keep them out of the way of the Germanic army there. And now all of these Praetorian cavalry and the one auxiliary cavalry are going to be moving around behind the Suebi units there, as well as this gladiator spearmen, although it's moving very slowly here because it is exhausted after that fight. Men still fairly happy though, you can see. They have no right to be there in a battle. That's actually a lie. But here you can see the equites were trying to get a charge off on the longbow hunters, but they are going to turn away from that plan of action simply because the longbow hunters withdrew behind the lines of the sword masters there, and these cavalry are going to get out of the way as fast as they can. And you can see where Igloo man here, since this is his replay that he sent me, is sending his units. And right now, this is kind of interesting. He's really kind of spreading out his units. He's sending 2 of these sword masters forward here. He's sending all of these berserkers, the 3 units of them, far up to the right here. And the rest of his units are kind of jumbled about. He's got the 2 more sword masters there. And then he's got just these spear units, which he's got running around randomly in the back. So you can see his army's kind of spread out right now, but they're running around randomly in the back, trying to protect against that cavalry. And there you can see this engagement beginning. More armored legionaries coming in on the flank of this unit. So right now it is just these 2 units of sword masters engaged with the Roman armored legionaries. These sword masters are a better unit, but they are really badly outnumbered here. You can see this fighting, some of these men getting pretty bloody as they go through this conflict here. We'll go ahead and go out of that. So you can see down here, this one sword master unit, both of these guys actually caught these equites here and are actually doing a decent job of finishing them off. Those men going down, but right now in the center, This Swordmaster unit already routed, so now these Berserkers are coming in to try to at least hold these Romans here for the moment. And this Swordmaster unit is just being, you can just see it is literally a steel wave trying to push through this unit, and these guys are holding as best as they can. But you can see they're getting cut down pretty quickly there. So right now in the infantry fight, Rome is definitely getting the upper hand, except for up here where it is fairly even between these Berserkers and armored legionaries. That guy getting stabbed through the neck, that's gruesome there. And everything's really kind of a jumble right now. The Roman general here, we'll go to that. They're going to be doing a hammer and anvil on this Berserker unit, and this unit here is really doing a excellent job for Igloo Man. This unit here is even with that hammer and anvil, and it's because they're in frenzy mode, but they are resisting the hammer and anvil attack, and once again this massive wave of Romans in their front. And over here these Swordmasters that were fighting the enemy cavalry are now coming up and fighting these Roman armored legionaries there. The longbowmen still firing in, although not being super effective. Once again, it's just these spears in the back attempting to run around and stop all of this cavalry here. And these skirmishers are about to get hit by cav in a second. These Wadanan spears are moving up this way, just kind of shadowing those Praetorian cav. And up here, this fight, once again, brutally even between these guys. So both of these units are getting ridiculously depleted here throughout this fight. And down on this flank now, Igloo Man has sent in spears, and so right now he's starting to, oOIYvYIOo here and Rome is starting to punch through in the middle. They were doing well here, but the support of this extra Swordmaster unit, the general there, and these spears coming in actually started a mass rout of these Roman armored legionaries here. And now it is going to be this wave of troops pushing up into the back of the armored legionaries, fighting this one unit of Berserkers, which has held for an incredible amount of time there. They are down to 3 men and still going. This unit here is the MVP of the battle, holding all of those troops, allowing Igloo Man's other forces to come in there and kill off those guys. And up here, these Berserkers are going to end up winning this fight, and now they are fighting the Praetorian cavalry. And the last of the auxiliary cavalry here charged in and got killed, so that's going to be the end of that fight. And it looked for a while there like Rome had the upper hand. They had way more troops fighting those Swordmasters, punching through them pretty quickly. But that one Berserker unit there holding, and also the Berserker units up on the right flank, but really it was those units doing their best and refusing to rout there. Because just those 3 men still were holding all of those units. And at the end, oOIYvYIOo started pulling away some of those armored legionaries to try to stop this sudden rush of guys on his right flank. But it was not so. So very good game to both opponents. That was, to me personally, an extremely interesting battle. Very fun to watch. Definitely not what was expected in the result at the end after seeing how that began and how just spread out Igloo Man's forces were, which of course he did need though to fight against all of that cavalry. But once again, great game to both opponents, good game to Igloo Man. You guys will see him in the next round, and to oOIYvYIOo, thank you for competing. Otherwise guys, subscribe for more if you haven't. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time with more.